Hey, how we doing this evening? I know a lot of you are used to seeing me posting up videos of me driving around in a race car and not actually getting to see my face. Unfortunately, here's my ugly mug. Just wanted to take a little bit to go over what we've done in the off season here and trying to prep this car to be able to run in the SCCA GT1 category with the new LS rules package that they have allowed this season. So we've been making quite a few changes this year. So let's go over the first and probably the most visually obvious. So this is already fitted up right now. This is actually a what is this? A GT3 or GT4 hood that I picked up from Black Dog Motorsports that was run off of a Pratt and Miller Camaro. And I actually got this thing all fitted up and working exactly how it should. It's a carbon fiber hood. It's just been painted matte black. And that should help evacuate plenty of air off the front end of the car, which is actually a very big deal to try and help get a little extra downforce and get rid of some trapped air under the hood. Mainly my main goal is to try and reduce the amount of back pressure built up behind the radiator, especially being that this car has a custom flat bottom that was built onto it before I ever acquired it. So getting rid of some of the extra air and trying to help build more of that vacuum is a very important thing that we have to do. The second thing that we're going to have to talk about is this little guy. That is a air cylinder tied through the throttle cable that is going to be feeding air pressure to blip the throttle for me when I'm downshifting because of this little guy hiding all the way down here. And I know that's kind of tough to see. That is a 6XD 5-speed transmission. That is a full sequential transmission that I still need to finish getting some of the plumbing done for, but it's basically all hooked up. It has its own standalone pump built into it for circulating the oil. I already have an oil cooler built in for my old transmission setup that I've already removed off of the rear differential because it was a belt drive system. And I've got the air shifter set up. I've got the ignition cut set up for upshifting. I've got pretty much everything pretty well dialed in right now on this thing to work exactly how it needs to. The next major thing that I've been working on has been adding in some brake pressure sensors, which actually, give me a second here, let's fire this thing up a little bit. And yes, there is an air compressor built into the car right now to help feed that air cylinder to blip the throttle for me. So, let's take a look here. So we have now added some new inputs that I have. I have the front brake, rear brake, and engine oil temperature off of my Holley digital dash. Now I am running a Holley HP. It's nothing super fancy, but it's more than enough for what I am doing. And at the end of the day, that really is all that matters. It takes care of managing the engine. It operates pretty flawlessly, and everything seems to be functioning exactly as advertised. I'm very happy with it right now. I cannot wait to get it out on track to actually test it. I have removed the oil pump that was on the differential, which has saved quite a bit of weight right now. Plus, I've removed probably about 8 feet of plumbing with extra oil in it that I no longer need because everything's a little shorter. That has definitely helped quite a bit. I had to redo a few oil fittings and a fuel fitting that ended up having some leaks in them on the O-ring seal for the swivel. That was a bit of an issue, and that was getting to be a problem. Unfortunately, the underside of the car is very rust-proofed right now, but we're making progress. And all of this is totally an effort right now to be functioning and running in the SCCA GT1 category. We're going to be running at about 2780 is the minimum weight. Realistically, with the cast iron engine block, we're not going to be anywhere near that. We're working on getting a couple sets of spare tires right now, getting the season off on the right foot, but we should be doing good. Now, one thing you probably noticed. Where are the headers? If you notice, yeah, the engine is completely sans headers right now. So we have our dry sump oil pump right there, and we got the exhaust ports, no headers. Where are the headers? So we're currently working on getting a set of headers built. And I have to drop the car off this weekend actually to have those headers built. And they're going to be exiting right about there. Ignore the spare transmissions. The reason we had to do that is because my fuel cell had lifed out, and I knew that I was planning on doing some bigger races, longer races. It was a 22-gallon fuel cell. It is now a 32-gallon ATL bantamweight fuel cell. So, surprisingly, for 10 gallons more capacity, it weighs 8 pounds less empty. So that's a big deal in the right direction right there. The second issue is because it was a little bit bigger, it doesn't fit the exhaust that went the full length of the car and actually had a tailpipe exit system like most street cars do. Because the exhaust went on either side of the fuel cell, last year, the last race of the season, we discovered it was boiling the fuel in the fuel cell just from heat, even with the additional heat shielding and everything that I did around the exhaust. Secondly, it also removed about 60 pounds off of the car by removing it. As of right now, I am down about 100 pounds off of the weight that I was last season because of these changes so far. I can't wait to actually get it weighed to actually see what the new exhausts or the new headers and the exit work causes, but what we're actually looking at right now is we are going to have some mufflers on there. They're not going to be that great, but it should be enough to keep me under the 103 decibel limit at Blackhawk Farms. And fortunately, the rest of the races that I have planned this year, it doesn't matter because I'm planning on running at Mid-Ohio, which has no decibel limit, Watkins Glen, which has no decibel limit, and Road America, which has no decibel limit during the June sprints or the runoffs, which I am hoping to qualify for. So we have a bit of a full schedule right now. We're trying to tie this all together, and I'm really hoping that this ends up being a good season. It's been a very busy, very interesting off-season so far. I've got all new brakes on all four corners. I've got all the wheel bearings are repacked. I've got pretty much everything about as prepped and ready as it can go right now, aside from having headers built. I'm very much hoping that I'm dropping those off in 2 days. But I just thought I'd give everybody an update and at least give this a feel and see if anybody actually had any interest in this. So if you got any questions, feel free to hit me up down below. I'll be sure to answer them, and if I get enough, I'll try and make another video and try and get everybody's questions answered and let you all know what's going on. Otherwise, I hope you all have a great day. Thanks.